One of the biggest relationship issues in the U.S. is debt. It may be causing a strain on yours as we speak. Well, hopefully today we can help resolve some of that with the help of our friend Richard Martin and Jesse Niesen from freedomdebt.com. Gentlemen, thanks so much for being here.
Good. It's always good to be here.
You know, it is one of those things. I mean, whenever you guys are on the show, we do talk about debt, but what we don't talk about is how this affects relationships.
Oh yeah, and it's huge, that issue there, the stress, the anxiety people feel, the fights that, you know, the husband and the wife, or even boyfriend and girlfriend for that matter, get into because of money or lack of money, or whatever the case may be.
And isn't that the #1 reason why people get divorced?
It's in, I don't know if it's actually #1. I really think it is, but it's in the top 2. And at least I can help you, help the clients, help the viewers with that, but I can't help with the other one.
Yeah, exactly. Now, here's the thing: is so often we have experts come in and say, "I can, you know, save you from debt in this instance because of this, this, and this." But you actually have a personal background with this. You can attest to this being a problem.
I can, you know, and it's one of the reasons why I'm in this industry of helping people become debt-free, is because I myself went through $60,000 worth of debt, ruined a marriage, ruined a family, unfortunately, over it. It was very trying. It was, you know, and I look back now, if I could have had help, if I could have found somebody like me now to at least talk to and get some advice from, I might have saved a marriage.
Right, exactly. And that's kind of like you said, is where you come in. There are those people out there that are in relationships. They maybe just got into a fight last night, will get into a fight about money later on. And if they just got some help, then maybe they could save their marriage. And that's where you come in. Tell us how you do that.
Sure. You know, like Richard said, we can't really help with the marriage or with the relationship. That's enough work in itself.
Yes, you're like, I'm not a therapist, believe me.
But we can, you know, relieve a lot of the stress and the problems that are weighing down, you know, so that you can free up your energy to work on the relationship, you know. And so I think if you sit down and you speak about the problems with somebody that can help you, you can make some decisions, take a few actions to where you just feel that relief. People feel that relief all the time after a conversation with us.
And that's where you guys come in.
Yeah, and the program we offer for people is debt settlement, and it's a more aggressive way to become debt free. We actually negotiate with the creditors to lower the actual balance. It's not just the interest rates like credit counseling does, and we're not bankruptcy. This is just a more aggressive rate. Let's take a look at this graph here. $30,000 worth of debt. Let's look at the payout on this. You know, this is. On $30,000, it's going to cost you to pay this off, making the minimum payments over $100,000.
There are so many people out there that can only make the minimum payments.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then with credit counseling, the other chart is at $42,500 is what you're going to pay back on this. With our type of a program, since it's more aggressive, we can usually get that client out to around $16,500. So there's a huge, obviously, a huge savings there.
So not only is the debt $30,000, but you're only paying 16 of it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Moving on with your life. And then this chart here, this shows 20 years it would take to pay those out. And that's assuming that you stop making any charges right now, and you're still making the minimum payments. It's going to take 20. We've even seen 30 and 40 years on this. With credit counseling, you're looking at 7 years of payback. We've seen people at up to 9, 10 years. With our program, freedomdebt.com, it's 3 years or less.
Well, that 20 years right there, you know, it seems like there's no end in sight. Credit card debt, I mean, it's like 20 years from now, and who can even say that they won't need a credit card?
Exactly. We see it where, you know, people are elderly, and the only thing they're going to be able to leave for their children is debt. And that's terrible.
Absolutely. And then here's the last one.
This is the monthly payments on $30,000 worth of debt. People can be paying, you know, $1,100 or more on their credit card debt, which is, you know, a lot of times more than a month or more than a mortgage payment.
Right.
And with credit counseling, you're looking at $950, sometimes even more. And with our programs, we're going to be right on the $500. So we're essentially cutting that payment in half because we're cutting the debt in half.
And this is a perfect example right here, what we're looking at, cutting the debt in half. And a lot of you might think, well, how exactly do you do that? And this is a perfect example of how you do that.
Exactly. Here's a letter from a creditor that the original balance was $21,000, and we've actually settled the account for $4,200.
$4,200. Now, let me ask you, how is that possible?
It's a good question. What we do is we negotiate on the behalf of the client to settle the debt for less than what they owe. So we work with the client to set up an account where they save up that money, and then our negotiators go out and we make an agreement with the creditors to forgive a large portion of that debt. So they actually settle it out. It's paid to a zero balance.
And you've said this before. A creditor will want something as opposed to nothing at all.
Oh yeah, and in this kind of a industry, it really does make good business sense because they'd rather have something. Because you got to remember, the credit card companies, what do they care about? Money.
Money.
That's it.
They want your money, but these guys just want to help you out. And you've got a special for our viewers.
We do.
Today.
We know it's early. I know it's Sunday morning, but for the first 50 callers at 1-888-710-DEBT or our local office at 520-2100, we're giving away a free debt analysis, and along with that, we're going to give away a budgeting guide. Plus, you can go to our website at freedomdebt.com.
All right, there's the information, as you said, freedomdebt.com, or stop by, go see them, 6709 Bandera Road. Call them. First 50 callers, you're in luck. 520-2100. Now they are going to make your life easier, and hopefully all of those arguments about money and where the money's going and all the debt and the credit cards will be out the door, and you can really focus on your marriage and your relationships.
Save some money to take your sweetheart out to dinner or something like that.
We would love that. Oh, anyway, well, thank you so much for being here. I
Christina.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thank you.